Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink. Welcome back to Let's Play. Well, not really Let's Play. You know, you get the point. Random hunts with me in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Yeah, it is currently the... What is that? The fucking... Yeah, the 18th of March. I couldn't brain the date that was written on my computer for a second. It can be confusing sometimes because, you know, it's inverted for the US and Australia. Well, pretty much the US and anywhere outside of the US. You know, the US just has to be special. You know, they have... What is it again? Fucking month, day, year. Instead of, like, going... progressing naturally from the shortest length of time to the longest length of time, day, month, year, you know, that's the logical way to do it. But no, the Americans need to have it month, day, year. But the reason why that confuses me is because, you know, I'm very used to having to try and differentiate between what's written by an American and what's written by a non-American. But anyway, obviously on my own computer, well, sometimes it's not really like that on my own computer. Sometimes it just automatically does it the American way and I'm too lazy to change it. But anyway, in other news, we are doing a double quest here. Just me and this Utah guy, or Utah, I don't know how to pronounce that. But, yeah, it's just me and him, and we are fighting a Baleful Gigginox as well as a Brachydios. And that's really crap that the Baleful Gigginox can actually hit me at that point. Because to me, that doesn't really look like a very damaging attack. He just kind of moves his head down a little bit. But anyway, that's just me. While I remember, shout out to Master Roshi, who has been commenting on my videos as of late, specifically my random hunt videos. I just thought that I would say hello. I should acknowledge people who actually comment on my videos. It's not really common at all. And when I do get comments, it's usually from people going, "Oh, nice video, check out my channel." You know, I'm sure they watched the video. I actually have a guy, funnily enough, I think his name is, it has something to do with the ShamWow, you know. Remember the old ShamWow thing from Once Upon a Time? Yeah. His name is a reference to the ShamWow, and basically, he comments on my videos with the exact same message. I swear, he must be a bot or something, but, you know, within a minute of the video being uploaded, he will just say something like, "Nice video, I like it," you know. It's like, well, you definitely didn't watch the video because it's only been uploaded for 2 minutes, and you say the same thing every time, so even if he watched the video and said the same thing every time, it wouldn't feel sincere, but he literally doesn't even watch the video when he says it, so I just wonder what he's trying to achieve. The only logical explanation to me is that he doesn't actually think because he's a bot, so yeah. Because, you know, if there's no logic, it must be a bot, but really, I do get that feeling. I mean, I don't know why such a bot would exist, but whatever, that's just what I think. But either way, I mean, yeah, shout out to that person who speaks to me. But, or, you know, gives feedback. It's good to get feedback on videos, because, I mean, I don't necessarily welcome negative feedback, but, you know, because I don't think there's anything that's really so bad about my videos that it warrants, like, negative comments when I don't get any comments otherwise. That would be a bit harsh, but, you know, at the same time, I definitely do welcome, and just comments in general. Like, it doesn't need to be like, "Oh, nice video," just saying something like, you know, "Yeah, I hate the Baleful Gigginox," for instance. Like, you don't even need to say, "Oh, nice video." I mean, that's nice if you genuinely feel that way about it, and I appreciate the words, but you definitely don't need to say that. It's, as long as you kind of say something, it's kind of nice, but let's say kind of a few more times, don't we? But anyway, so yeah, I don't know how long this quest is going to take. I mean, there's always been the theory. Oh, that's my laptop making noises. I was supposed to mute that. Bloody hell. Anyway, so, can you stop hitting me, Mr. Baggy Person? Why do I say person? It's not a person, it's just a baggy. There's no person involved. I mean, we're not talking about the Baggy Man, which is a reference to a podcast which hasn't been relevant in 7 years, but, well, maybe that's a bit rude to say. I mean, it's just that I used to watch it back then, and it was really fun, but they don't really make it as much anymore, but anyway. So, in other news, the reason why I don't like it these days is because they added a new guy. He's not really new anymore. I think they added him in 2013. Not speaking any names, but, you know, And then they got rid of the guy who didn't have much of a personality, but I even started to miss him, you know, because he was original from like the first audio podcast episode. Sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent. But anyway, what I was trying to say was, like, I was actually making a point at some point. Yeah, let's repeatedly use terms, Doomlink, because we don't have enough imagination to come up with different ones. But anyway, what I was trying to say before was that there's always been the theory or the rumor that... oh wow, you're dead, okay. So basically, there's been a rumor or a theory, I don't believe it's true, that if you actually set the number of players in the quest on the actual quest thing itself, so for instance, if you set it to 2 players, only 2 players can join, that will actually affect the health of the monsters inside the quest. That's a pretty old theory or rumor that originates from Try. Well, possibly doesn't originate from there, but that's when I first heard it. And I'm sure it's been disproven many times, but because I haven't really seen it disproven, I haven't really completely erased it from my mind and decided that it's just a load of crap. But it would be nice if that were the case, because really, when you're only hunting with 2 people, I mean, the game should just recognize that automatically, that, you know, you're only 2 people, so it shouldn't be strong enough for 4 people. That's just logical, you know. But anyway, I guess there's me doing weird things with my my voice again. Oh, is it a spawning thing? So they're not both on the map at the same time. Interesting. Good to know. It is strange. I mean, some double quests have both monsters in the area at the same time, and then others do it almost like a arena quest where you take it in turns. Well, even then, arena quests are a bit like that, where sometimes they come in one at a time, and or they are both in the same room. Generally, it's both in the same room with arenas, because that's the idea, that's the challenge. Really, it's a bit silly to me, the whole, the quest Monster Hunter, like, or the Monster Hunter, I can't really remember, but, you know, I remember there was a little bit of, like, the quest had notoriety, like, when this game first released, because it's like, ooh, you should see that crazy quest, the Monster Hunter, there's all sorts of, you know, it's basically because you have to fight a lot of monsters, and they're pretty high-level monsters, and it finishes off with a Savage Devil Joe for a crescendo. But the thing is, you're fighting one monster at a time. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world. You're basically fighting the monster by itself in an arena, so it doesn't move anywhere. So it's basically you and 4 people wailing on a single monster who has like a quarter of its normal health. It's like, yeah, that's difficult. Anyway, I mean, I'm not saying that it needs to have like 5 monsters in the arena at the same time, because it is something like 5 monsters, but you know, having 2, and then I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? You have it, 2 groups of 2 monsters, and then the crescendo, a single Savage Devil Joe, maybe even at full health if you want to be an asshole, but you know, I think the Savage Devil Joe also has a health decrease. I would imagine that's the case. It's about time for me to sharpen, because these dual blades do have a lot of wide sharpness, so I've definitely, oh Jesus, yeah, I have worked that sharpness down quite a bit, or worn the blades, maybe would be an interesting way to put that, because I'm making it sound more realistic, less game talk and more realism. Can you stop, please? I mean, I really don't like the persistent nature of the Brachydios, and I have mentioned this in the past. And as I also have mentioned in the past, you know, let's just keep saying the same things every bloody Brachydios fight, Doomlink. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he was a little bit more pursuing in 4 Ultimate, because I believe his G-Rank version in Ultimate was even faster, or 4 Ultimate I should say. I mean, this game has Ultimate in its name as well. Let's not start confusing everyone now by just referring to it as Ultimate. It's like, oh, 3 or 4 Ultimate. Anyway, I didn't mean 3 Ultimate, long story short. Now let's go and drink another hot drink, and then I will have another Mega Potion, just top up our health a little bit. But yeah, of course, I mean, these dual blades do technically have purple sharpness, but really tiny purple sharpness on a weapon type that just does not really attack slow enough for you to make use of that sharpness. There's no real point to it, you know. You might as well consider the fact that it's a white sharpness weapon with that additional... Well, actually, that's a good point, because the non-sharpness +1 version of these blades is a blue sharpness weapon, because it's only rarity 8, I believe, these Master Sabers. So basically sharpness +1 is a huge boost in sharpness, with a great deal of white sharpness and then also some additional purple sharpness, which to me is good, because it almost... I treat that as, you know, a period of time where your sharpness isn't decreased and you get a little bit more damage out. Like, that's how I treat it, because, you know, the purple sharpness lasts for such a short amount of time that you might as well consider most of your attacks to be done with white sharpness damage. I just couldn't get that colour out, or that shade. White's not a colour, Doomlink. Thank you. I know, I'm just saying colour because it's a term that you can understand. But anyway, well, I'm not saying that you don't know what a shade is, I'm just saying that, you know, let's not get into tangents again. I mean, if you know anything about me, I'm a tangent person. I just get on tangents, and the thing is, generally the origin of the tangent, as in what got me talking about that, was in no way something that needed to be talked about for 10 minutes, yet I go on these long tangents about it, and the people watching the videos are just going, oh, what is he on about again? That's what I think's going on. Of course I don't know that, because no one talks to me, apart from Master Roshi. Thanks, Master Roshi. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to be sucking his dick for the for the next 10 parts, but, you know, a shout out to him for talking. But anyway, you know, the occasional, oh, this is a good video, can you check out my channel? You know, that's okay, it's better than no communication, but it's annoying. But anyway, we're not going to start talking about that again. I've already made my point. I'm just double checking my recording, hopefully I don't get attacked. So yeah, we've been recording for 16 minutes. Because this is only, like, me and him fighting, this will probably just be a single video, because it's going to take a little bit longer, so... You know, it really does frustrate me when that tiny stub of a tail manages to hit me. To me, it's almost insulting, like... If I can't even avoid the tiny stub of a tail, imagine the full-length tail. Makes me feel like a terrible player. But anyway... No, I don't really think about it that in depth. I don't put myself down about my Monster Hunter play. I don't just sit there lamenting my inability to play the game and, you know, talk to people about it. You know, I mean, I could feel a tangent coming on there, but I didn't need to go on once again. Now, I do need to go and carve the tail. I totally forgot to do that. Now, that's one thing that I do in this game. I noob carve. You know why? Not because I'm an asshole, or because, you know, I'm stupid, or I'm like, oh look, it's something to carve, let's carve it, you know, despite being in danger. It's actually because I oftentimes just totally forget about the carve, because I'm so fixated on the monster. Like, the monster leaves the area, and I'm going, okay, I need to go and get that monster. I watch where it's run off to, and in my mind I'm going, let's get the thing. You know, I'm a cold-blooded killer. No, not really, but, yeah, because I'm so fixated on the monster, and I was scratching my ear there, so I couldn't run out of the way of that attack. Bad excuse, Doomlink, but it's the best I've got. But yeah, because I forget to actually get the tail, or the whatever that breaks off, I try to carve it immediately so I don't actually forget it. So that's the logic behind the noob carve for me. I don't always noob carve. If it's like a frickin' Elytrion, I won't do it. But, yeah, 9 times out of 10 I will noob carve, if only for the fact that I don't want to actually miss the carve through forgetting it. And it has definitely happened before. I mean, generally by the time I remember, it's like a double quest and the tail's already despawned or something. It's kind of sad, but anyway. So, I mean, in terms of the dual blades, I didn't really use them until recently in this game. I mean, I primarily used the sword and shield, and I've explained many times why I actually prefer the sword and shield. I will tell you again, it's because it's much easier to be mobile with the sword and shield, and it's also much easier to get out of a combo with the sword and shield, which therefore means that you can get out of the way of enemy attacks much more easily. So higher mobility and much easier to dodge as well, so like you're not stuck in a combo, so therefore you can't dodge. So it's actually the best weapon type to use if you don't want to get hit, because it's very easy to actually avoid monsters in that way. And it's not even in a cheap way that you avoid the monsters, it's just the weapon type actually gives you an opportunity to play the game better. That's just how it is, because you're watching the monster more closely, and well, that's not true at all, I suppose. In the end, if you're using a weapon type that's harder to control in that way, you'd have to be watching the monster even closer to make sure that you're choosing the right time to attack. I guess what I mean is that you're actually physically evading the monster and getting out of the way of its attacks, rather than attacking at a time where it's not going to be attacking. That's kind of what you're aiming for with the greatsword. You're not really dodging while attacking with the greatsword because you can't. You're mainly aiming for the moments in time where the monster's not actually going to be attacking you. So maybe the monster's going to do the thing where it just stands there roaring a little bit. I don't know. Have you noticed that? Like, some monsters, they just stand there and roar a little bit. Maybe like for Brachydios, maybe you just stand there and drool on his fists a bit more. That's a weird habit. That's creepy. That's like something you'd see at the mental hospital, some kid drooling on his fists. But anyway, sorry, did I just put a really gross image in your head? I actually did that to myself. But yeah, that was cool. So we managed to do that. Maybe a bit over 10 minutes that took. I didn't check the time, but I think that was about maybe 12, 13 minutes there, so that wasn't too bad. I mean, we're both reasonably high hunter ranks, so it wasn't going to take too long. I'm not saying it was super quick, but, you know, it wasn't painful. And sometimes I do like to wait for people, like for a full team, before we actually get started. But the reason why we didn't go with a full team this time is, in fact, because there are only 40 people playing at the moment, so 40, you know, in the world. This is not just the European servers. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate is all regions. Oh, it's region-free, I guess you could say. So, well, apart from maybe Japan and the Asian countries. I don't know, I mean, how does that work? I guess pretty much every country except for Japan, I mean, it's not going to be Japan, like, because the Japanese have their own bloody game. They can just play with each other, and I'm sure there are plenty of people in Japan playing the game, so... I mean, that's a good point. There are more people... I mean, I don't know this, but I'm pretty positive that there are more people playing this game in Japan right now than people playing the version of the game for the rest of the world, so... See, Jurto's letting me pick again. What a lovely person. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next quest. I think this might just be one whole video. It might be a little bit short, but I'm not going to be able to fit another hunt in the video, so even if it is a little bit of a short video, maybe a bit under 20 minutes, yeah, I'll just end it here. So I'll see you guys the next part. What part is this again? I think it's part 15 that you're watching right now. So yeah, I'll see you in part 16, I suppose. Let's hope I've got the bloody part number correct. See you then.